Hey everybody, it's Maggie Mulhern. I am here with Josh Demarco of Hair Demarco.
Yes.
And where are you based?
I am based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
And he is a phenomenal educator. We just did a whole tutorial on this. And the beautiful thing about Josh is he does both men's grooming, barbering, and hairdressing. And you say you have to speak to each audience differently. Just in a nutshell, what is that all about?
So, hairdressing and barbering are, at the end of the day, we're cutting hair, right? We're doing the same techniques. We're doing graduation, layering lines, that's it. But for some reason, a lot of barbers and hairdressers look at it differently. They approach it differently. So I like to speak to them as, at the end of the day, like we're cutting hair. Whether you're using clippers or if you're using scissors, we have one end goal. So any kind of tip or trick I can give to help them, that's just how I kind of speak to them. I try not to separate it as much and kind of mesh the worlds. Because as we all know, if you've looked anywhere online, barbering is huge right now. It's the biggest it's ever been, and hairdressers want to barber, and barbers want to cut hair like hairdressers.
Oh, well, it's so great. So we have this model who came in, and he was a big burly guy with a big huge beard, and Josh just went through, and it was very interesting watching him do this and learning from him, and there were 3 keys that I thought were the most interesting, and we'll start with the cowlick. How do you deal with a cowlick here?
Great question. So cowlicks are probably the number one thing that I see people do wrong. If you walk down the street, you'll see guys with their cowlicks sticking straight up off the back of their head. And the great way to really handle a cowlick is right off the bat, just look at the profile of the head, all right? So think, if his head's gonna round around here, right where the head starts to round, the hair's gonna break naturally. So a really great little tip it would be if you take the hair and start to comb it, and where that starts to separate, right? This is going to be like the cowlick region. So I'm going to section that right out and let it follow the head shape. So think, guys, if you look at the profile, let me show them real quick. You don't ever want to take that rounded up. That's cowlick area. So if I keep it more like graduated, it's really going to let me preserve that area. And you'll hear this all the time from people. Like a new client will come in and go, I have really difficult hair. I have these really bad cowlicks. And the way I see it is, no, someone just cut it too short. So section it out, let the hair fall where it naturally wants to go, and do not go above this area.
Let's turn him to the side.
Yeah, let's do a little side shot.
Yeah.
You know, this is actually be great for hairdressers. So we learn in hair school to kind of pull all the hair back on women, push it forward, and where it naturally falls is their natural part. Well, let's do it on men this way. We're going to go opposite. Instead of going back, we're going to go side to side. The hair naturally splits here. This hair wants to go forward. This hair wants to go back. This is always the cowlick region. So the second you start to round this and cut, it's going to spring right up. So by separating it and combing it back, I can really follow his head shape and make sure that I never cut the cowlick too short. That's a huge one. That is the number one thing that I see that barbers and hairdressers do wrong, is they cut the cowlick too short.
All right, so the bottom line is keep it longer. You can always go shorter. You can't. What do you do if you have gone too short? Here, I'm going to come over here to you. What if you have gone too short? Can you fix it with product?
I think you can fix anything with product. If you do cut it too short, it really depends on the hair now. So think about Asian textured hair. It's going to be bad if you take it too short because their hair is so dense and tough. Think about it, the shorter the hair, the stronger the hair is, right? If you look at women's hair, when it's long and it's ponytail, it flops down. Take hair too short, it springs up. So I can't stress enough, guys, you will never cut the cowlick too short if you can just comb the hair this way and let it fall down. The hair is showing you where it wants to lay. It's like, that thing like saved my life when I learned that. It really did. I'd never cut cowlicks too short, ever, ever, ever.
Okay. So, and I told Josh that we're only going to spend 1 minute on each thing. So we're going
further.
We're going for it. All right. So then number 2 was about product.
Product. So when we're talking about product, another huge thing is at the end of the day, we're selling product because we love product, and it only makes what we just did look better. So the worst thing that we can do is not educate our clients or ourselves on how to use it. So I take a product, I kind of take, based on the density of their hair and how strong the product is and what you're working on.
And you can give a shout out. What are you using?
This is Agadir Men, great company. The smell is incredible. I'm a huge fan of oud, even in my colognes. So I smell oud and wood, and I'm set. I don't know anyone who doesn't like the smell of oud. Great product. It's really strong, but it doesn't look like he has a lot of product in his hair. So guys, what we're going to do is you really want to emulsify. And I mean like work it in, heat it up. And always start from the back. See, the second you put product in the front of the hair and push it back, it's going to be flat, it's going to be oily, it's just not going to look good. And for men, we like that kind of pompadour look, or even if it's not a pompadour, you want to get a little bit of lift off their forehead or the front of their head. So I start in the back and push it in, really get it in the roots. Now look at this density, right? So I also want to kind of hold his head when I do it. I don't want to give him whiplash. This is a huge tip right here. This is where nobody ever gets product. And this is like, you know, you talk about women's hair and that money shot and the nice angles. If you don't get this right on a guy, their whole haircut looks bad.
All right, I'm going to have him put his head down.
So I separate it, and again, it's in my hands, right? So I'm really going to work it in. You got to get the product in the root. All this density, if I just put it right over, it's just going to flop right down. And then what they're going to say is that's not a good product. I don't like that product. But really, it's not the product. It's more user error. So I kind of go through from the back, work it in his roots, and then I can give him like a nice soft look. Again, we talked about consultation. He doesn't want some super refined pomade look. He wants a really low maintenance look. So it's just a great way to apply a product, no matter what kind of product.
You're lucky he has nice hair.
That's who, yes.
He does have nice hair. It's great. Okay, and then the final thing we were talking about was the jaw definition when you trimmed his beard.
Yep, so beards, think about this. You know, somebody once told me that like a beard for men was like lingerie for women, right? You can, I'm sorry, let's start that again. Spanx, not lingerie. So it was like Spanx for women, right? So you can hide stuff, you can take stuff in, you can give an illusion. Same thing with the beard. So I can't see his jaw because it's covered with the beard. So this is great. I can give him any technical face shape that I want. I can give him a long face if he has a round face. I can give him a boxy jaw if he doesn't have one. So I look in the mirror, and what I see right off the bat is if I put my comb right on his cheekbone, I'm seeing like this really wider area in the chin. So I'm going to taper this down a little bit because he has wider cheekbone. So I don't want it to be too wide because it's going to make his face look even wider. So I really like to taper this down on most gentlemen, and I'll leave more density in the beard. It gives him a really strong looking jaw, even if he doesn't have one. He may have one, but he may not. So this is like, it's an illusion of a jaw. So I'm going to throw in an extra one, a little extra credit for everybody, a bonus. Also, when you're doing the jaw, make sure the hair wraps underneath, look back for me, and really clean up his neck, but don't go too high up. You have to remember, if you cut this on the jaw, but there isn't a strong jawline, you're just going to distort the whole face shape. So let the hair wrap around and really just work on them, guys. Use your mirror. Look at people, you know? Guys come in with beards that they haven't touched in like 6 months. They're insane. So we can really shape them and we can really make them look great. I probably took 1/8 of an inch off his beard and it gives him a totally different face shape.
Okay, another bonus here. Which over here, and I'm coming back over this way, which are your favorite tools that you use on a regular basis?
I mean, I'll give a shout out to Wall. I'm a huge fan of Wall. I think they make amazing clippers. And my scissors, I mean, I always look at it like scissors are an extension of your hand. I use Mizutani scissors. They're the only company left on the planet that's fully handmade in Japan. They're just beautiful works of art. And I drank the Kool-Aid and just bought the Dyson blow dryer. I was against it for some reason, and I don't know why. The thing is freaking incredible. Dyson blow dryer is amazing, and they give you a great deal at like any hair show on the planet.
Yeah, it's great because he was using this not only to work on his model, but he was cleaning the floor with it. He gave us all blowouts.
I want to give Dyson a huge shout out because they're not a hair company, and they change blow dryers. How genius! It's a magnet.
Show it over here this way.
Yeah, see? So I know we all get stuck with those nozzles. They're hot. We can't get them off. This pops right off. It's magnetic, and it's strong. It doesn't come off. Yeah, so shout out to Dyson.
Well, and shout out to Agadir, and shout out to our model, and shout out to you. What a great day. Thank you for this. We've had so much fun today. And again, follow you at
Hair Demarco, HAIRDEMARCO. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, he's pretty fabulous. Check him out. Do a full pan here because he's 6'4" and
Nailed it.
cool shoes. Oh, you're just a cool guy.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. We'll see
Thank
you.
you so much. Thanks,
Bye.
guys.